Coming up on Mountain News this morning, soon Kentucky drivers will begin to take vision tests to renew or receive their license. And Pike County officials are hoping to open an addiction recovery center with the same success as surrounding health departments.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, Mountain family. My name is Amelia Lee. Today's date is December 30th, and it is 6:30. We are chugging along to 7 o'clock this morning. It's time now to check in with meteorologist Megan Dusmall for what you need to know as you head out the door to work today. And I was gone for a week, but coming back to the mountains here in Appalachia has just been great. I've loved this weather so far as I've been back, Megan. But what can we expect for this week to come and our new year?
Well, we can do kind of a little bit of a checklist. Winter coat, not checked off. Now, raincoat, maybe you can check that one because those temperatures will be warmer, but we do have that rain chance. Maybe an umbrella might be necessary if you're heading out super late overnight. But here are those current temperatures, and they're not too bad. I mean, I didn't have to set out any extra time this morning to warm up my car, and I don't think that many people will need to, unless you're traveling more towards Wise and Clintwood, whose temperatures are in the upper 30s. But even then, that's not looking too bad, especially for this time of year. And as we're going through the next 12 hours, we'll watch those temperatures warm up, hitting that high about 3 o'clock in the mid-50s. And here is the way that'll look for all of eastern Kentucky. 54 here in Hazard, 57 for Monticello and Somerset. And as you're traveling more towards Wise, 50 degrees, but not too bad. And we will be seeing those chances for rain just sprinkled throughout this morning. So again, that raincoat might be something you want to bring, but overall it won't be too crazy in terms of rain. So maybe you can just tough it out and have a semi-wet Monday, and you'll have those rain chances picking up as you're heading into the overnight hours and into your New Year's Eve. Amelia?
All right, Megan, thank you. Last week, health officials reported a human death from rabies in northern Kentucky. The source of the exposure is uncertain, but could have occurred outside the United States. The last Kentucky resident with confirmed rabies infection was in 1996. Last week, 2 men were killed in a Clay County landslide. The coroner's office identified the men as 37-year-old Jonathan Hoskins and 40-year-old Donald Short, both of Manchester. Friends and officials say the men were digging for coal after a seam was found off Stone Gap Road. The sheriff says there is an old coal mine near the hillside. Emergency management officials say the men already recovered at least 1 bucket of coal when the slide took place.
A mutual friend had actually told one of their brothers that they seen their vehicle over here and there was a mudslide, and his brother's actually the one who found him.
Officials say both men were digging about 8 to 10 feet above the ditch line. The incident is being investigated by Clay County Emergency Management. Kentucky State Police says its crackdown on cockfighting led to several federal indictments and plea deals. KSP says 5 people pleaded guilty to charges in connection to a chicken fighting operation in Whitesburg. 2 people were also sentenced in connection to a fighting ring in Pike County. State police say this follows a years-long investigation across Kentucky. You can find more information with this story on WYMT.com. In less than 1 week, drivers looking to renew their driver's license in the Commonwealth might need to check in with an optometrist. Prior to this change, drivers only needed an eye exam when initially getting their driver's license. Now drivers will need to complete the driver's vision testing certification form or pass an exam at the DMV at the time of their license renewal.
So all the testing parameters are exactly the same as what it would be for the 16-year-olds. What's new is that if you need to update your driver's license or renew the driver's license, you will now have to undergo a vision screening like you would the first time you took your driver's test.
Davidson says this is designed to keep the eyes of drivers in good shape and better ensure safe Kentucky roadways. On January 1st, qualified patients in Kentucky will be able to apply for a medical cannabis card. That will signal the beginning of a new era of legal marijuana use in the state. For some people, that means all the difference. One Kentucky woman takes a series of injections 4 times a day from a tray full of syringes. and it's still not enough to treat the pain that keeps her confined most days. The woman also relies on marijuana's healing effects, purchased illegally, but worth the risks, she says, for the relief that it provides.
You got to watch who you tell, or you got to, not talk about it, or you've got to hide what you're doing to try to heal yourself.
With the ability to apply for a medical cannabis card taking effect soon, her days of hiding will be over. She has hopes it will lead her to a new day of relief and freedom. A new women's health clinic is opening its doors today. The clinic is moving from primary care center to Hazard ARH inside the professional office building. The providers and services offered will remain the same, but officials say the new location should be more convenient for both patients and medical staff. Dr. Raymond Thomas, the clinic's OBGYN, says the transition should be seamless for patients.
Patients shouldn't have to do anything differently other than drive to the new location. We'll be able to actually have a little bit more at our disposal, being affiliated with the hospital and ARH and all the services that they can provide.
To schedule an appointment, you can call 606-439-5220. More details can be found on our website, WYMT.com. A new initiative planned in Pike County is borrowing from the success of surrounding health departments. Pike County officials are discussing how to bring a hub for addiction recovery to the area, using the Kentucky River District Health Department's growing success as a blueprint. The hub will bring resources for recovery under one roof, helping to connect and serve those in need, with a mission of ending overdose deaths and getting folks into treatment by being available when they are ready to seek help.
Individuals suffering from substance use disorder are 5 times more likely to enter treatment if they're receiving harm reduction services.
Public Health Director Tammy Riley and Judge Executive Ray Jones are planning to visit Lee County soon to see how to best bring a hub to their neighbors in need. Governor Andy Beshear has accepted an invitation to speak at the World Economic Forum. The forum will be in Switzerland in January. It brings together businesses, government, and academic leaders from around the world. The governor is expected to discuss further investment and job opportunities in Kentucky. Officials in Somerset are getting ready for the new year in style. City officials are hosting an event called the Light Up 2025 Bash on Tuesday at Fountain Square in the downtown part of the city. The festival will include food trucks, live music, and a dance party. The event kicks off at 7. You can find more details on our website, WYMT.com. Well, the new year is just a few days away, and many of you may be thinking about your New Year's resolution. While some of those resolutions fell through in years past, experts say setting resolutions is more beneficial than we might think. Resolutions can provide motivation and help us become more intentional and productive in our daily lives. We spoke with a psychologist who says this is especially true for people with ADHD who tend to live more impulsively. She says in order to see big change, you just gotta start small.
What we know is that setting specific small goals leads to more success than making broad goals. So I'm 55, and if I set a goal of, I want to improve my health this year, that is so broad that it's not likely that I would make much of a change. But if I said I want to decrease my cholesterol, then I could set a small goal that had to do with nutrition and one that had to do with exercise.
Dr. Stone also suggests sharing your goals out loud to a loved one and asking them to hold you accountable. And speaking of New Year's advice, a new report is aiming to help millions of people who are looking to lose weight. The Journal of the American Medical Association looked at more than 100 clinical trials and found at least 2.5 hours of moderate to higher intensity aerobic exercise per week may help lead to a meaningful decrease in weight, waist, and body fat.
So what this analysis found is that if you exercise for, let's say, 20 minutes a day, 7 days a week, or 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, you will achieve significant weight loss. You also need to get your heart rate up high enough. So when they say moderate exercise, they're talking about getting to 50 to 70% of your maximum heart rate Strenuous would be 70 to 85% of your maximum heart rate.
Dr. Grounder says you can estimate what your maximum heart rate is. All you have to do is 220 minus your age, but of course there's also an online calculator.
Today might not be a bad day to go out for a run, even in those morning hours, because I mean, as you can see, not much in terms of fog. Some places do have some dense fog, especially towards Harlan and Logan. We do have pretty high humidity, so you could see that some places, but those temperatures are quite nice today too. And the wind, I mean, take a look at those current winds, calm across the board. Some places a little bit higher, 9 miles in Wise. And as we're looking at some of those rain chances, as of right now, at the end of this loop, not looking too bad. And it probably won't feel too bad to get a little bit of rain on you if you are running this morning. Now, those temperatures, again, aren't looking too terrible. We are in the 40s across the board. We'll only be warming up throughout the day, those rain chances lessening. And as you're heading into the afternoon, 55 degrees will be the high around that 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock mark. So definitely going to be an absolutely wonderful day to go out there and maybe test out some new running shoes you got over the holidays. Stay with us. More mountain news and weather is on the way.